And then real quick too, before we start, do you not play on PC?
No.
Yeah, this is crazy. You're
I'm just
the
straightforward.
you're the second person. When I did my interview with Hunter as well, from 1093, he also doesn't play on PC. I'm like, what is with you whales not playing on PC? You guys are crazy. So you at least play on iPad, right?
No, I don't. Just straight phone.
What, dude? Insane. Okay, more respect to you. Jesus. Okay, everyone, welcome back to another whale watching video. I am here with my good buddy MementoMori from Kingdom 2293. Mori and I go way back, about 2.5 years ish now. We fought against each other in a KVK, and then we allied in a KVK. So ever since then, we've pretty much, kept in touch a little bit here and there, and we've been chill friends, I'd like to say. So Mori, thank you for taking the time and coming on. How you been?
No, thanks for having me. I've been pretty good. Just enjoying the scenery of this KVK.
Yeah, super Farmville, unfortunately, but we can fill the time with some cool stuff like this. So Kingdom 2293, for those who don't know, have always been a really high AC. I think you guys are Imperium now though, right?
Yeah, we're silver.
So
we dipped into that right after this last migration, and we're probably not going to drop.
okay, yeah, I mean, as is like the state of like the game, and I feel like you guys have always kind of like dipped in and out a little bit. But like one thing I'd like to note for 2293, for maybe some of the newer players in the rock community, is that you guys are well suited punching above your weight class. I think it was leading up to some of those those KVKs that I talked about that Mori and I were a part of together, where these guys went on a run just tearing through Imperiums, and obviously they weren't doing it alone, but they were taking down really big Imperium kingdoms, as a high A seed. So just one thing to note, for the community of to give a little bit of a background on 2293, and to give us a little bit of background on you, Mori. How long have you been playing Rise of Kingdoms, and what kind of got you into Rise of Kingdoms?
Well, my day count is almost 100. So that's quite a long time. That's a couple of years. As far as what got me into it, I got bored one day and swiped through, and then saw that this specific game was a bit different than other city builders.
Yep.
You can actually control your troops on the field and stuff like that. Other ones, you just send troops out and they come back and you get like an instant report. Those are redundant and kind of boring. But this one in particular piqued my interest, so I downloaded it, and the rest is history.
I haven't looked back. Yeah, I'm looking at your VIP right now. You're at 2,195 days. So yeah, creeping up there in terms of years.
Yeah, I'm getting old.
Yeah. And then just taking a browse through your profile right now, sitting currently at 122 million power, 16.6 billion KP. Not going to be super high in terms of some of the whales, which we will see, but they do fight in as an A seed. Again, they do fight against Imperiums too, but Mori also kind of leaning a little bit more towards Garrison Captain, which kind of, when you're a Garrison Captain, you don't have as many troops to kind of field with. On your autarchs, what do your autarchs look like in terms of highest kills, heals, and your deads in a KVK?
So what it's looking like right now, my highest sitting at almost 72 million kills, and then 6.6 million dead in a single KVK.
6.6, damn. Okay, very nice. That's where the whaley flex is, and then also going on to the deads, I would say as well, 75.6 million deads, and you're a little short of your highest power, 151 million, and you do kind of float around this range of, at least from what I've noticed since we've known each other, your account usually ranges from 100 to 150 million, correct?
Yeah, typically. Where I'm sitting at now, 122. That's kind of like the medium. So I like to sit at this power as much as I can.
Okay. Very, and kind of rightfully so, being a garrison captain, is you do kind of need the amount of troops that you have. Okay, cool. So kind of jumping into your command set. So this is your main set, right? That's on your buy cheat.
Yeah. So this is my main set overall. I use this also for garrisoning. Um, the stat swaps you get with leadership is fairly important in my opinion. So that's why I've got those on. And the boosts are at 3 because they don't need to be at 5. I
True.
sacrificed a little march speed in the field, so it's
Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough. When did you make the decision to go into like the garrison role, and then kind of, I guess I'm curious, how was it painful for you to bring a a book all the way to level 5 and special talent? That's a lot of blueprints for a book.
um I would say not really. Not for me. So I decided to start doing Garrison probably around KV2. Um,
Hmm.
and and that's when we were moving into the swarming meta.
Okay.
And the swarming meta is kind of stuck after that. So when we got into Season of Conquest, I started moving my way towards making my Garrison hurt whoever decides to touch it. Okay. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've been able to stay uh, towards the top and punch up is because the structures that we hold, they hurt and they're hard to take down.
Hmm.
So after a couple times, they send a couple marches and I want them to look at that flag and question if they should. I
Yeah.
don't want them to, all right, go ahead, go swarm it. Like, no, I want them to think, we just scouted this. We know who's in it. Let's try and see if the rally.
Gotcha. I love that mentality, honestly. It like what hearing someone talk like that about like garrison gear like makes me makes me want to chase garrisoning again. Although I wouldn't be able to keep up the troops to do it, but um, and I'm a Cav main, so like we'll never probably be at that point. But I love that
Probably not.
mentality of being in a flag, and you're not gonna break me type mentality. That's I really love that. Um, and you kind of mentioned before too, before we kind of hopped on, that like you get like hyper focused when you start developing something like this, and we'll obviously talk through your sets a little bit more, but started in KVK2 building this, and then was that just like the sole focus for this first set, was to get everything to special talent, and then obviously when the awakening system was to push all of that to level 5 as quick as possible?
Um, Essentially, yeah. So when they had introduced legendary gear, I had started making sets for all my marches because that was pretty necessary. And then once I had that established for I think like 3 or 4 marches, I then hyper focused on infantry.
Okay, makes sense, especially with the garrison meta.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to your armaments here. We're looking at Arch Formation, 3 special talents, very nice. With a little extra, so you do have a double inscription on one of those, you lucky dog. 8.2, 8.9%, and 10.8% on infantry. No damage on there. Is that something that was intended, or just lack of kind of luck?
Um, probably a little bit of lack of for the most part. I tend not to discriminate between health and all damage, especially in a garrison setting where I want to kind of last as long as possible as well.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. That does make sense. Okay.
I know that destruction gets a lot of heat because it like reduces your rage. But when you're in the swarming meta, you just got rage for days. That and also that's the one with the double inscription with robust. So like I
Mm.
couldn't justify it if I wanted to, unless I got like the blue one with robust as well.
Gotcha, gotcha. And then what do you know what, I don't know what robust is. I'm terrible with armaments, so I'll,
Three
I'll
3.5% health to all.
oh yeah, beautiful. Absolutely. Yeah. Of course, yeah. Yeah, that does make sense then too. Um okay, very nice. And then was you built the arch set obviously because we hadn't gotten into pincer yet. So this obviously being an infantry player, this was your first set of first formation that you brought up special inscriptions first, right?
Yeah, essentially. Uh, that, and also, even if they did come out at the same time, I probably still would have developed because of the normal damage aspect of it.
Yeah, and then kind of ties in with your build on your gear to make swarming as painful as possible. And then moving on to your Pincer Set, so we have 2 special talents here with 2 rares on here. Are these special talents that you swapped over with the new conversions, or were they lucky pulls? How did you come across these?
So Raider and Rattling are from transfers. Uh, Airtight, I think, is the one that is bottom right. That one I actually had extra. That currency that you get when you dismantle stuff.
Oh
I
yeah.
had just gotten to that I needed, so then um, I got that, and then I had an autark in our last KVK where we won. Not this last KVK, the KVK before that, and that's where I got top.
Okay. Yeah, very solid set here as well. Everything very pretty close to double digits. And then on armaments, are you a big spender on armaments, or how do you go about the process of obtaining more?
Um, Here and there. I really only do it when we have alliance mode come up to where I'll do those quests and stuff like that and buy out the whole bundle. But that's kind of it. I do a lot of it with travels and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sometimes I get lucky, sometimes I don't. And other than that, it's just the chest that I get from KVKs and stuff.
True. Okay. So about once a month you're maxing one of the armament bundles. If the Imperial, I think it's Imperial armaments, if that coincides with an alliance mobilization, you'll kind of max that out, or you'll just do the daily one.
Oh yeah, the Imperial one typically they do that on purpose.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, something low spender like me doesn't pick up on. Okay, very nice. And then, so next we have your second infantry set, which is all special talents, pants at level 5, and then a Moor's Web on there as well. Interesting. So in the process of building your account, where did your second infantry set kind of land in your list of priority? Obviously, building your garrison set kind of slowed the pace of like the rest of your open field stuff, right?
Yeah. So after I had finished my my garrison set as much as I could, because the bottleneck there was it was blueprints and mostly just KVK blueprints.
Mm-hmm.
I would always do the math as far as, okay, well, I can get these blueprints at this time, so I've got this amount of material to work with, and then I just started trying to refine my equipment and get it crit. And I did with a large amount of it actually. I'm not saying I got lucky or anything, because it did take like 2, maybe 3 times, you know.
Okay.
But the process wasn't as, and the level 5 pants that you see are level 5 pants that I use to interchange with my garrison set if we're running pure infantry, because pure infantry does better with all defense. The leadership pants themselves are there for me.
And that's like, honestly, this is again allying with you guys and a little peek under the tent for these guys are like serious planners in 2293. I remember the one KVK that we were in, we had a shared Discord. I think it was the KVK with, it was like the last big KVK for Kingdom 2K, and then we had that one Japanese Imperium, I think they were like 1647 or something like that. We were prepping for like Kingsland, and these guys were in a voice call for like, I kid you not, like 6 hours, like planning. Like, I loved seeing it, and I was like, this is the level of planning that goes behind the scenes in 2293, and this is another testament of why they're able to punch up, because they break down things like this, even the smallest things, whether they have to kind of switch a set of infantry pants to make something a little bit more optimal. So love the thought process. Going on to your Cav Set, your whole Huo, all special talents, and decent awakenings on these as well. Where did this fit along into and another book? That special talent for cavalry, you sicko. What the heck? Okay, so talk me through this set a little bit and the thought process on building this.
So this is actually my next focus. Now that I'm done with infantry, I'm moving on a pinnacle set for calves. Um,
Okay.
it was originally outfitted to be like a counter rally-ish type of thing because we've got cav rallies that just go straight horn and ring, other things to kind of do as much damage as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I like to make it hurt.
Yeah.
And like for an artifact KVK, I'm throwing a Tilla Martell at something and
Mm-hmm.
just just watch the deads roll in.
Oh, you're devious, Maury. You're devious. Oh my god. Um, okay, so now starting to build up this set. So is the book something that's more recent then, right? Or it's something you just
Yeah,
kind of had in the
definitely.
back pocket?
Well, I had an addition. Um, funny story. One of the KVKs we had played, I was 75% on critting my book for infantry, but I accidentally hit craft instead, and that was the only blueprint I had. So then I had a second book. I was like, oh, damn it. So then I was like, all right, I already got it. I'll put it on my calves or something, and I'll find a way to work with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's here.
Okay, that's so 75%. You're about to special talent your infantry book, craft another one, and now it's your Cav counter rally slash I would assume at some point it will be a Garrison set as well, which is
Yeah.
also special talented and brought to level 4. Do you know how many blueprints it took you to special talent this one?
Actually, funnily enough, so the following KVK, I got two blueprints. I crit the infantry one, and then I put it into this one, and it crit. So I was like, all right, maybe that
Okay.
wasn't such a bad move after all.
Yeah. That's nice. Okay, that does make it like kind of salvage the misclick there a little bit. Okay, so because I was thinking, I was like, that's a lot of vengeance blueprints to be something.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, very nice, very nice. So we're going to be seeing Mori, Cav counter rallies and garrisons at some point, which is equally as terrifying. So. And then moving on to your Cav armaments for your wedge. So we have 4 special inscriptions. You have another one of these special inscriptions with a double. This was, I'm assuming, so is this something that you're currently working on now since you're doing, or I guess the arch would be the armaments that you're working on now?
no, Arch is fine. I'm thinking about switching this to Delta because
Oh,
that
true.
that is the path I think Cavs are going to be going. I might hold off until I see a Cav garrison that's Delta. If it's not and it's Wedge, then I'm probably sticking.
Okay, fair play, fair play. I'm hoping that it's Delta because I think Eleanor's a little dated. We can't only really use her in Arc, so I am
Yeah,
also trying to hold some sculptures and stuff because my Delta set is 1 special inscription away, and I've got some pretty decent stats on there too. So, hoping to come back into Captain relevancy at some point, but um, yeah, I'm really hoping for the Delta Garrison commander as well. Um, and then going on to your second Cav set, which is also all special talented, but level 1 awakenings. So I'm assuming when you special talented all these, this was before awakening system.
no, this set was
After, so is you special talented this after the awakening system?
yes. I made a second Cav set and second Archer set. The Archer set is one that I'm currently working on if I can't do my Cavs because of blueprints.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but being an infantry garrison, coming towards the final battles in KVK, I've only got 1 infantry march, and it's better if I still have 5 marches on the field than 3.
Hmm.
So that's why I moved in towards a second Cav set.
Okay. And then What can you walk me through the thought process on going for special talent over the awakenings? For my knowledge as well, because like I'm also at a point right now where I'm kind of working through my awakenings, and through doing the series I'm noticing a lot more special talents out there in the world, and obviously the special talents are huge because you're getting a boost to obviously your stats in general, but they're going to boost your awakenings as well. You're getting a little bit extra kick through the awakening. So I was always told to go for the awakenings first and then go into special talent. You seem to have taken a different approach here, right?
Yeah, more or less because special critting something, it's always going to be painful, and I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather get that out of the way first, where all I have to do is worry about blueprints and slowly uh, get the awakening level up, and it's something that I can just put minimal effort into. So I get the hard part out of the way first, and then I go into the awakening. I understand why people do the awakening first because you, you get guaranteed stats for each one, and I
Yeah.
get that. It's just
You,
the way I am personally. I like to do the hard stuff first, and then kind of.
yeah, that's totally fair. I mean, and again, this is like I always say it, and I'm a big believer on it. Like we are playing an RPG, essentially. Like everyone has a different process on how they build their account, how they're using their account. Like, for example, for me, I did all my accessories first. Probably not the best thing to do, but like I was like, yo, you can really notice when a ring is on your marches.
Yeah.
And I think this was before this. I started doing that before the iconic system. So I think now with iconics, like maybe you do want to go and get your legendaries, get them iconic first, as opposed to just getting the accessories. But like I took that same process back in the days. I went and built all my accessories first, get the hard part out of the way, and then I went in and kind of built all my sets. So interesting. Maybe something that I think about, even though I'm pretty close to getting most of my awakenings to at least 2 now. So
Nice.
but I'm like doing this, I'm like itching to get like more special talents because I'm so behind.
Yeah.
And I just want to start
So,
refining stuff.
so if you're not around Garrison, I would say your path should be get your stuff up to like level, and then you can try and focus on special crits and stuff like that. So it the field players will benefit from the extra troops in the field. It's a bit of micromanaging as far as that, but
True.
uh,
Yeah. And you said to bring up us to awakening, what level? It cut out a little bit.
three.
Okay, awakening level 3. Damn it! I was like,
Yeah.
I'm so close. Everything's at level 2. Oh my god! All right,
Yeah.
so
Level two, you get the extra stat point, but three is when you. Yeah.
get the troop boosts.
Yep.
Okay, all right. So we got a little bit more grinding to do. All right, cool. Um,
The grind doesn't stop. The grind does not stop.
yeah, no, that's for sure. Going on to archers. So archer set yet again, all special talented. And what order did you kind of go in? You obviously do infantry first, and then did you do cav and then archer, or did you do archer first?
Nope, nope. I did infantry cav archer.
Okay, so this set is like relatively new, I would say.
Yeah, for the most part,
Uh,
especially with the leadership part
yeah.
spots in there.
Okay, fair enough. And then real quick, what is your open field march composition? How do you run those?
Oh, probably like the traditional one that
Okay, so like
is available.
so QSH, ZL, Bai Chi, and Wallace,
Uh,
or
so
Liucha?
I got BQ, LC, Ragnar, P, QSH, and then I want to test Philip behind him in the field, but I'll probably to YS. And then Hugo Arthur, Nevsky Joan, and then ZL Herman.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that is relatively standard. Yeah, you got to get the Philip in there somewhere. He's sitting on the bench
Yeah,
right now.
I mean, he will be if he doesn't do well with QSH. So he better get it together.
um, interesting. Okay. Um, okay. So archer set here, and then we have a secondary archer set that's being worked on right now. And then this is obviously the ZL Herman pairing that you do?
Yeah. The bow is at 75.
Okay, so that's close to getting crit. Very nice. And then moving on to the archer armaments, and as we were kind of saying, we kind of did a brief little intermission here, as archers were a little forgettable for a while there, and this kind of shows a little bit here. I think this is the one armament set without any special talent. So this is. Yep. But I would assume now with how QSH is performing, although I don't really think he needs like anything extravagant. I think he's just going to perform well no matter what you have on him. But is your archer like set of formations going to take a little bit more priority now because of how good QSH is?
Yeah. So since I'm fairly caught up in tree and also calves are done for the most part. If I swap, I swap, but that doesn't impact the progress I can make on archers. So like the next Altark I get is gonna go into archer. QSH and a hunter here soon, and several other improvements.
Which honestly, too, like probably the fact that like the archer armaments like are a little bit behind your other sets is probably for the best, because we're going to be getting a new like Wedge 2.0 or something like that coming very coming very soon anyway. So honestly, probably for the better, and it's going to save you some conversions potentially. Okay, and then we have the second archer, which even that one's pretty good. Nice clean stat spread minus the infantry march speed. So yeah, very nice account all around. And obviously the top end here of the infantry set is kind of your pride and joy, all special talents, and just, you know, meant to put a hurt on enemy swarmers and even rallies as well. I definitely have learned some things through this, so very much appreciated. Thank you for taking the time out again, Mori. I'm gonna wrap this up with a little bit of a rapid fire. First thing that comes to your head, nothing crazy. So obviously, as we were kind of talking before hopping on, both anime lovers, what is your favorite all-time anime?
Oh, that's actually a good question. Favorite all-time? When I grew up with Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
All-time.
Laid the foundation.
Oh yeah.
All right, so then I'll ask a question. Second part to that question: your favorite newer anime?
Oh, the anime is just taken off the last. It's got to be a tie between MHA, JJK. Those right there for me have just been really good.
Yes, yeah. We were talking a little bit My Hero beforehand, and JJK is actually one that I just rewatched in preparation for, because we're going to be getting season 3, and I also forgot like how much substance is in that anime. Like I kind of just, you know, when you think of Jujutsu Kaisen, it's kind of like they have really good action scenes, but there's so much depth to the story as well. And I forget kind of how long these seasons are too, especially the first season, which gives us a lot of that substance. Okay, very nice. I appreciate the picks. Favorite music artist?
Ooh, I do like Five Finger Death.
Okay, that is heavy metal, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, heavy metal.
And then lastly, if you had to travel to any destination in the world, where would it be?
Oh, either the UK. I mean, I would like to visit my friends across the pond at some point, or Japan. I mean, I think a lot of people want to visit Japan at some point.
Yeah, fair enough. That's one of the exciting aspects of being in Australia now. I'm a very short flight away, as opposed to a very long and gruesome one. So I'm with you on that. Japan is definitely on one of the high ones on my list too. Okay, so all right, very nice, cool. Mori, thank you again for taking the time. It was an absolute pleasure. Any last thoughts to the community? Any last words of advice or tips that you have for the people out there?
If I had to offer something as far as advice, if you're planning on being a rally or garrison, just know that you're not going to get the kills. And with that, you have to you have to be able to deploy a degree of focus. If you try and spread everything out, you try and do everything at once, you're going to get nowhere. Only by focusing your equipment and your armaments and everything like that can you actually get to a level to where you're formidable enough to where even if people with special crit everything is swarming you, they're gonna think twice after they look at those reports.
I love it. I love the thought process. Mori from 2293, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, consider subscribing down below, and we'll catch you on the next one.